Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be taking a look at some of the top investing mobile apps such as Robinhood, Stash, Acorns, and Investr, and why you can't live trade on those apps. I'm also going to be taking a look at each of the apps individually and how long it takes for a trade to go through on those apps and a bit about how each of the apps works. So basically why you can't invest live on these apps is because these apps are not a live traded market themselves. They have to buy the stocks from the stock market and then sell that to you. And for a couple of these apps I'm going to take a look at, Stash and Investr, you can actually buy fractional shares. So if you were to buy 1/10 of a stock, you're going to need 9 other people to buy the amount you did in order for that app to be able to sell that stock for the price you bought it at. In other words, you will initiate the trade through the app. The app will then go and buy that stock off of the live stock market, and then you will be able to get the stock off of the app once that trade has gone through to the app. Robinhood is actually the best of all of these apps by far, and the trade will go through in less than 20 minutes. And your trade will go through so quickly using Robinhood compared to these other apps because you're actually buying the stock for full price. So the app can purchase the stock from the stock market at exactly the price you paid for or very, very close to it because they're not having to buy a fractional share. On Stash, it can take a lot longer for your initiated trade to go through. It can take a few hours, or if you initiate the trade later in the afternoon on a business day, it might not go through till the next day and actually take a whole business day. It can also depend on the stock. If you're going to buy a stock of Apple, it will probably go through a lot faster than if you're buying one stock of Cracker Barrel, for example, and that's just because it's getting traded a lot more actively. Back to the fractional shares I mentioned earlier, when you initiate a trade, you're not going to actually get that stock for the price that you initiated the trade at. You're going to get the stock at the price that they bought it for live on the stock market. So unfortunately, that means that on most of these apps, you're going to buy the stock at a slightly higher price than you initiated the trade at. So live trading doesn't really apply to Acorns all that much because you're not really buying and selling stocks on Acorns. You're more just choosing one of the ETFs on Acorns that you want to invest in, but still you will be buying the stock or the ETF at the price when they buy it, not when you add your money to the account. Lastly, I'm going to take a look at Investr, which is quite different from Stash, but it's similar to Stash in the way that you buy fractional shares, and the fractional shares are going to take a little bit of time to go through in the stock market. So you're going to buy the stock at the price when they initiate it, and it's going to take a few hours to a business day or two, even with Investr. Please leave a comment down below if anything I explained was unclear, and subscribe for more videos on investing apps and stocks in the future.